tomorrow. So you can see here's 10 a.m., 11:30, how the snow starts to diminish in coverage area, but we'll need to monitor that lake enhancement, and especially I think it's going to intensify during the overnight hours and through the day tomorrow. So we'll have your complete forecast coming up. Roz?
From this snow, Kennedy, Eisenhower, Stevenson, Ryan, the tollways, and the Edens. The Edens is where we have this crash. It's on the outbound side. Right before Lake Cook Road, we have at least the left lane blocked, and there were 3 ambulances called to the scene. So they're going to be dealing with that for a little while. I want to go into northwest Indiana because we had a crash on I-65 southbound right around the Indiana toll road, a little bit north of it, and they still have the left lane blocked with this incident. And we've got cameras out there in Indiana as well on the INDOT website. So I want to show you this one on 8094 right around Broadway, and you can see some of the snow here in the median, on the shoulders. So caution both on the Illinois and Indiana side. Your 5 a.m. transit check, Tanja and Terrell.
Broz, thank you. Diane Pathu is checking out what it's like to be on the roads right now.
She is in storm.
On 94 heading north. We just passed Buckley. We're approaching Belvedere now. And the roads are snow-covered and slick. The ride up here was really interesting. I'm going to go ahead and show you the roads if I can. And you can kind of see right now that they are, as I mentioned, they are.
Trio is live from O'Hare this morning. Jess?
Terrell, and we're hearing about more flight cancellations as the morning goes on. Our newest update showing us that O'Hare now has 411 cancellations and Midway has 90. So some passengers may be stranded here for a bit. At more than 500 flights scrapped this morning. And of course, we're going to be keeping our eye on this situation throughout the morning. Reporting live at O'Hare, Jessica D'Onofrio, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, we'll see you in just a
An update to breaking news now. The Eisenhower has reopened after a car crash killed 1 person and sent half a dozen others to the hospital.
on a motive for the shooting.
A community alert this morning in Chicago's Lincoln Park neighborhood. A woman says a man sexually assaulted her. The attack happened city's northwest side is being called a hero after she called 911, saving her mother's life.
Deal indeed. Well, good morning. Well, this morning we are starting off our day with snow. This is not something that we have been dealing with much at all this year, as a matter of fact. So live Doppler 7 Max, we are all covered in it. Really, anywhere you go, there is going to be snow. It will be steady throughout the entire morning rush. So from Marengo to Maywood into the city, Worth, Homer Glen, Joliet, and over into northwest Indiana, you are all seeing snow. And as I mentioned, it is going to stay very steady and widespread throughout the entire morning rush. Winter alerts include the winter weather advisory in effect until 1 o'clock this afternoon. But tonight, we're going to add this lake effect snow watch. It's in effect through tomorrow afternoon. Now, as we take a look at the future cast, you can see how by later on this morning, it looks as though the widespread snow does diminish. We'll probably get some light snow showers coming in off of the lake, but it still appears as though during the latter part of this evening into tomorrow morning, that's when these bands will become closer together and really hitting areas that are closer to the lake. Ross?
We're starting to over the expressways so you can see just about everything is going to get some of that snow cover. We do have a new crash. This one is on the inbound side of the Dan Ryan at Canalport. A couple of vehicles involved. So we've got IDOT crews heading over there. It's right in the center of the roadway, so it is starting to back up traffic. And more information about this injury crash on the outbound Edens at just before Lake Cook Road. 3 ambulances were called, and now they're talking about extrication. So they're really going to be out there dealing with it for a little bit longer. We can take a look. I'm surprised that breaking the cloud.
With us, of course, we've got the latest weather and traffic on the 7s for you. Plus,
As about his creation today.
Help save a child in crisis. I'm ABC 7's Kathy Brock.
No one investigates like the I-Team.
Only on ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
In our Money Matters report, a warning from the inventor of the World Wide Web, plus a call to action in the tech world and the weekend box office. Maribel Aber is live from the NASDAQ in New York. Good morning, Maribel.
Hey, good morning, Tanya. Joe Biden wants tech innovators to help wipe out cancer. The former vice president told an audience at the Web is worried about it. With a winning session Friday, the Dow gained 44 points. NASDAQ was up 22. The S&P 500 added 7. Today in Tokyo, the Nikkei ended up 30 points, and right now looks like futures are pointing to a lower open. We've got a full slate of economic data out this week with reports on consumer and producer prices due out, along with a meeting of the Federal Reserve. Uber is battling after King Kong or
All right, Maribel, thank you. Time now is 5:14, and the latest check on your weather and traffic next.
Yeah, live lookout.
All over the Chicago area. No one is immune to the snow this morning, but we also have some lake effect snow to be concerned about. We'll talk about that coming up.
Green.
517, live look outside. Behind us this morning, that snow is coming down, Tracy.
It really is. You know, the visibility compromise. We're not quite used to this. It's almost like the first snow in October or November
feels
or
like it,
something,
doesn't it?
We just haven't had this, so we're making up for lost time around the Chicago area. And as we do take a look at what we are seeing around somewhat during the afternoon, all total, most of us are going to come in between about 2 and 5 inches of accumulation, but the outlier is going to be this lake effect into tomorrow. Live Doppler 7 Max, snow is all over the region. Right here in the city, it is falling. Wheeling up into Hebron and Woodstock, Marengo. You get to Downers Grove. My weather watcher Mark out there said he's had about 1/2 inch of accumulation so far. It hasn't even stopped and won't anytime soon. St. John, Gary, Piatone, Joliet, everybody in the snow this morning. The winter weather advisory. Now, this is a change from yesterday. The Weather Service decided to cancel it at 1 o'clock this afternoon because it looks as though the widespread snow is going to begin to diminish. However, what we need to monitor closely overnight tonight, lake effect snow watch goes into effect through tomorrow afternoon. Cook, DuPage, Lake counties, and lake effect snow can reduce visibility very, very quickly. As we look at our snowcast, so you can see by noontime today, has most of us in that 1 to 3 inches of accumulation. I think the accumulations here today are going to be in the neighborhood of 1 to 4. And by midnight tonight, we're looking at probably about 2 to maybe as much as 5. And then tomorrow, what we really need to monitor is the potential for this lake effect snow. I think this will increase the totals, specifically places like Waukegan, even out to Woodridge, and even into Midway. So we could be seeing some higher totals than what is reflected there. Currently at O'Hare, it is snowing. It's 28 degrees. AccuWeather Real Feel is 17. 28 in Gary, 25 in Maryville, 24 degrees in Woodstock, and 27 in Naperville. Wind chills mainly in the teens out there. So snow blanketing the Chicago area. It extends out to the state line. Meanwhile, perhaps you've been hearing a lot about a storm in the Northeast. It's in the developing stages. Blizzard conditions expected in New York City tomorrow. Snowy start here in Chicago with patchy fog, too. Snow is going to diminish in coverage area here this afternoon. I think the morning rush is going to be more significantly impacted than the latter one. Tomorrow, lake effect snow, very likely. Highs around 30. Ross?
Liberty Street, so we've got local police dealing with that. And as we take a look at the big picture, expressways, we're seeing a little bit more traffic out there. Some delays on the outbound Kennedy approaching O'Hare, the I-190 ramp. Stevenson, Ryan, that whole area is starting to get congested. And updating the crash on the outbound Edens, we do have the 2 right lanes closed, so only the left lane is open to traffic. And we're looking at almost a 1-mile backup now approaching that crash. It's an injury crash with extrication, so we do have quite a few emergency crews on the scene there. This crash is new on I-55 northbound at Renwick. We've got 2 lanes closed there, and that is also causing some significant delays. And the crash we told you about inbound on the Ryan at Canalport, that is being cleared, if not already.
Fans are waking up thrilled this morning.
Only on ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
In the meantime, though, it is a great Monday morning for Chris Collins and the Northwestern men's basketball team.
Early last night, the Wildcats got the invitation they so coveted. Yeah, we will. 5:26 now. And if you're having trouble getting out of bed this morning, like we did, we have some
slick because we have snow, and the snow has blanketed the entire Chicago area over into northern Indiana, up into southern Wisconsin, and it's going to be slow and steady all through the morning rush. We'll have complete details.
A crash blocking 2 lanes outbound on the Edens just before Lake Cook. Only 1 car involved, but it hit the wall, 2 injuries, and about a 1-mile backup approaching that area. Not too far from there. Take a look at this snapshot. In the Highland Park area, this is Lake Cook and Green Bay, and you can see we do have snow cover there, making the roads slippery. More news, weather, and traffic right after this.
American Red Cross.
Going beyond the newscast to ABC 7 Eyewitness News, dedicated to community. Chicago proud.
But since we've been on the air this morning, Tracy.
Well, you know what? I just even noticed, Terrell, since you've been standing out there, your hair is getting covered. Coming up.